have Bajaj Auto Surabhi, and I guess, I don't know if you want to start with the currency question. Big 50% is exports.
And they're large exporters. I'm sure that would, that would be interesting and beneficial. But then there are hedges at plays as well. We also have to talk about, of course, November sales numbers largely in line with expectations. There's a question mark on the domestic two-wheeler growth, and we'll get to that as well. Three-wheelers have done really well for Bajaj Auto. We've got Mr. Rakesh Sharma, Executive Director of the company, joining in. So much to ask, Mr. Sharma. Where do I start? Okay, I'll take Prashant's cue. Let's talk about currency because that's the hottest thing this morning, right? So for you, a company that has such a large export portfolio as well, what does all of this mean? What are your hedges like? What does it mean for Bajaj Auto? Rupee at 90.
Well, good morning. It means party time. Yeah, the softly devaluing rupee is very beneficial, as you said, to a company like ours, which has got almost 50% of its revenue coming from international sources. So it's very, very helpful to being also competitive in our retail markets.
Okay, so party time as far as the currency tailwinds are concerned. But then let's talk about that domestic retail market, right? Now I have to, ask the slightly tougher question on, specifically on two-wheeler sales, because the growth has been.
Sorry.
Sorry.
To complete that rupee point,
how much?
What's the? Sorry, so good morning, Prashant here. What's the sensitivity, if you can tell us, with say rupee, rupee depreciating, say 1%? 100 basis points. I mean, what's the sensitivity to margins, Mr. Sharma, if you have that number?
Well, on an annualized basis, every 1 rupee creates a EBITDA impact of 200 crores plus, because our exports are over $2 billion. So, like I said, 50% of it coming from all international means there is a very good level of sensitivity.
So these are straightforward translation gains. So that's 200 crores on one rupee move, 1% move.
Yeah, in general. But of course, we have hedges in place because it's always more important to achieve certainty. We are not sort of gambling on the dollar rupee because we have always felt that it's more important for us to maintain retail price certainty in our destination markets. And that's why we have a approach which is biased towards hedging and towards achieving certainty.
Yes, and so
all of it cannot be grabbed. But, this whole, the trajectory of the rupee has been such that one has let it be and sort of ride along with how the rupee's trajectory is unfolding. So therefore, a lot of that devaluation benefit is accruing to us.
Just to close the loop on this, sir, from when on does it start benefiting you? Because you'll have some hedges in place, right? So do you start seeing this benefit from January, 1 month down the line, 15 days? I mean, if you could give us a timeline. With what sort of a lag? It's packed, spot rate is what you go with. In the next 5 days or so, you start gaining from this rupee depreciation.
No, it's not like that. The thing is that you always hedge a certain percentage of your thing. So it is immediately, whatever spot we are achieving right now for our unhedged portion is accruing to us. And that is...
What is your hedged portion then, sir, on your export?
I would not sort of venture forward that number. Okay. But we are hedged for almost, with certain percentages, for almost 12 months down the line, So, but...
the entire $2 billion, just trying to get a sense. But you also said that most of this depreciation benefits accrue. So...
yeah.
But then the hedges should eat into some of those benefits, right? The translation gains.
Let me just clarify, because there are multiple questions, and just if you can listen. Like I said, our approach is towards certainty. The trajectory of the Indian rupee's movement opposite the dollar has been, softening. So obviously, recognizing that, you roll back the amount of hedging which you do. And therefore, the amount which is hedged is much less, let's say, than what we would have done 2 years ago, when there was a little bit of an up and down. And therefore, what happens is that most of the devaluation through the spot achievement is getting accrued.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sounds absolutely rational because the trajectory of the currency in the last many years has been gentle depreciation. Very rarely do we see instances of sharp appreciation, which would make you want to hold very large hedges. So that explains that number of 200 crores positive EBITDA impact every time the rupee falls by 1 rupee, that is, against the dollar. Got it, sir. So that's helpful explanation. Now coming to the bread and butter business, which is auto sales and what's really going on in the domestic market. So starting with two-wheelers. Now, it seems slightly tepid compared to how the industry is doing. And Sudarshan was telling us, even if we, leave aside the anomalies, festive up and down, April to, November, the sales are down, I think about 5%. So what's really going on with the two-wheeler space, sir?
Well, if you're asking me about the industry, I am not at all surprised about the November outcomes because, Diwali has a very big impact. And last year, Diwali was in November. And therefore, comparing equivalent to equivalent is a better method. And actually, the right way now, once the dust has actually settled, is to look at September, October, and November to really understand which way the industry is headed. Because September was an up and down month with the GST being announced very early on and then implemented from 22nd, and October was full festive, and November was only one first week festive, and then after that was post-festive. So when we put September, October, November together, there is certainly a very good impact we are noticing of GST. It's made at least I would say 6 to 8 percentage point difference, not only in two-wheelers, but I would say also in three-wheelers. In fact, a much better impact on three-wheelers. That's why you're seeing really handsome numbers coming out from our side, because being 75% market share, a lot of that uptick is disproportionately captured in our favor. So certainly, if you look at September, October, November, from a -1% which the motorcycle industry was delivering, it has gone into, swung to 6-7 percentage positive.
Absolutely. I mean, the question was only because in November, other automakers, two-wheeler makers, have managed to show some growth, while obviously everybody deals with that base issue of which month Diwali actually fell in. Anyway, going forward, when we look at December, turn of the calendar year, look at January onwards, what is your estimation for domestic two-wheeler sales for Bajaj Auto?
I would say December is going to be, again, tepid. But again, we are not worried about that. It will be better than last December. But, December is always a low month with very few degrees of freedom. But we are optimistic about January, February, March, that quarter. Because what is happening is that not only has growth returned to the industry, but the better segments are doing far better. And within those, where we have captured the growth is on our higher variants. Our growth has been completely driven by the higher variants. Yes, we have in the 100cc segment lost share, but there has been a bit of a reversal in our trajectory for the last 3-4 months. As you know, our market shares were slightly going soft. I'm talking about 1 to 2 percentage points. And that recovery got a real boost with this GST cut, because we found that the customer behavior has sort of turned towards our kind of play, which is, try and get the customer through better products and higher variants, rich in features, etc. Now that is getting more and more traction, and that is the basis on which the last 3 months we have seen a clawing back of market share and improvement, particularly in the 125cc plus.
Can you share exactly that number, the latest numbers as of end November, market share in the 125cc plus, which is what you target?
So we are these are estimates because you don't get precise numbers. These are our estimates which are calculated. The absolute is not as important. What is important is the trending. And our estimate, for your information, is about 23% is our market share, which had slipped down to 21%. And that has come back to about 23% as of November in the 125cc plus segment.
All right, Mr. Sharma, thanks very much for joining us, sir. Good luck. And I and the rupee, I and the business as well as we go forward. Thank you.